Good afternoon, and welcome to a very special day for us here at the Rutherford County Emergency Communications District. We're here today to honor Mr. John D. Hood and dedicate the naming of this building in his honor. I first must mention to you, I believe, that we are on what's known as Emergency Road to us. We have a fire station on either side and our ambulance station. So if some of our great first responders should be leaving their stations and need to sound their sirens, we'll pause in order to let them pass. I would like to also say that while today, September the 11th, is seared in the history of our country, I would be remiss if we did not acknowledge those whose brave souls sacrificed so much for our nation at the Twin Towers in New York, the Pentagon, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So I'll please now ask if we could just take a moment of silence to remember those heroes. Thank you. I'll now turn the podium over to Mayor Bill Ketron, who will have a few remarks he'd like to make. Mayor Ketron.
Thank you, Steve. It's indeed a pleasure to be here on a beautiful day like today. We in Rutherford County are blessed to have a facility like this, and in a few moments it'll have a new name. I want to just say, take a few moments to talk about John Hood. Many communities across our great state and across this country have great people that do things from time to time in their communities and become leaders. But none other than John Hood and what he has done for Rutherford County over the decades. I mean, decades of what he has been able to do for our community as a leader, as a speaker, always talking about what good things are happening in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. For several decades, John and I served in a local service club, and he was a mentor of mine. And we would vacation together. Our families for the last 20, 30 years would always end up going some nice place, but always coming back to Murfreesboro because that's home. And as soon as we'd come back, we'd start doing the same things that we've always done, is trying to make Murfreesboro better. So it's an honor and a pleasure for me just to say a few words about John today. And we thank you for your service, your dedicated service to this community, John. And it's a pleasure to have nominated as a member of the 911 board for something that's so important for somebody who started at the very beginning of 911 and been there ever since. We want to usually you have name dedications on buildings after somebody has already passed. Now is an opportunity. We're going to honor somebody while you're here, and you can actually see it for yourself. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be here to give you that respect, John. Thank you. You're welcome.
That's all, number one.
Well, thank you, Mayor. You've been a friend for so many years, and I appreciate your friendship and appreciate your comments here today. We've had a lot of relationships together. And Steve, appreciate your leadership in directing our board. To say I'm flattered and honored on this occasion will be an understatement. I am most grateful for this event. One of the great pleasures over the years to me has been to serve on this board, bringing this service to the Rutherford County community. When we did that referendum back in the 1980s, our citizens voted and told us overwhelmingly they wanted this service. It's always been gratifying to realize what this means to everyone in our community to be able to have this number for all kinds of emergency service. And over the years, we were able to build and pay for this building to serve as our training facilities and our headquarters. Originally, this event was scheduled earlier this year, but had to be postponed because of the pandemonium, but it may be even more appropriate today to do it on September the 11th. This community has been good to my family and to me, and I take pleasure in working to make it a better place in which to live. It's service. It's called the rent we pay for the space we occupy on earth. Now, I've said many times before, I'm just trying to keep my rent covered. Thank you, one and all.
We'll now proceed to the unveiling, Mr. Hood, and if you'd like to step right over here.
Okay.
And when you're ready,
You what?
when you're ready,
Oh,
ribbon, do you want to give us a countdown?
all right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
I want to thank you all again for taking the time to be here to honor a true treasure in our community. I just want to briefly say that I had the pleasure of, for 7 years, when I was serving as Emergency Management Director, to serve alongside John Hood on our Board of Directors. And for the last 16 years, I've had the privilege to work for Mr. Hood and the other board members for the Emergency Communications District. Again, thank you for being here today. Thank you to all our viewers. And also, if you would like to post any congratulations or good messages to Mr. Hood, please go to our Facebook page, Rutherford County Emergency Communications District, and feel free to send him any messages. We'll be certain that they might find their way to him. Again, thank you all and have a great rest of the day.